Spoilers ahead. In 1985, a group of teenagers was playing soccer on their neighborhood field. One of the teenagers, Ho Nam, accidentally kicks the ball towards a guy named Kwon, who happens to be a leader of the local triad called Hing. He calls the boys over and wants to recruit them to be his underling, but Ho Nam refused. The boys get beaten by Kwon's men but was intervened by another Hing boss named Dai Lobi. The boys were grateful and pledged that they wanted to follow Dai Lobi into the triad. 10 years later, the boys become young men who are well known in the underworld under the leadership of B. We are introduced to Ho Nam, Tin Yi, Chicken, Bao Pei, and his brother Chao Pei. That night, they're planning an attack on Kwon's right-hand man in a massage parlor. The target is unwinding in a spa, blissfully unaware of the impending danger. Chicken gets stuck in the elevator while carrying the weapons. The elevator stops working, and the priest saw Chicken's weapon. The priest tells Chicken to drop his lifestyle and follow God. Chicken then tells the priest to ask God to get the elevator working again, which it miraculously does. Bao Pei cause a distraction, and Ho Nam attack the target in the changing room. The target manages to escape but meets his doom outside in the street. Upon discovering the body of his friend, Kwon is consumed with anger since he still owes him money. They all celebrate their mission's success together with Dai Lobi. They happily drink and karaoke together at a lounge. Outside the lounge, a woman is seen stealing Ho Nam's car. The next morning, Ho Nam and his friends approach a thief famous for stealing cars. The car thief denies any involvement with their vehicle, but Ho Nam and his friends remain skeptical. After some physical convincing, they were able to get the name of the car thief. They found out the car was stolen by a woman called Smarty. Ho Nam enters a bar to look for Smarty. She's asking someone for money in return for their stolen car, which Ho Nam overhears as he approaches her. Smarty notices a group of men looking for her and uses Ho Nam to hide, and he goes along with her scheme. Afterwards, Smarty compliments him and asks him to pretend to be her boss during the negotiation, unaware it's his car. He plays along, and they drive to meet Ho Nam's friends. Chicken pretends to be Ho Nam when Smarty asks for the ransom money, and after they mess around with her for a bit, they reveal who the true Ho Nam is. The boys tie Smarty up to the hood of Ho Nam's car and drive her to the top of a secluded hill. They threaten to assault her one by one unless she can finish eating a huge amount of barbecue pork bun. She has no choice but to do it, and when she's almost done, the gang leaves her stranded. The next day, Dai Lobi and his underlings are invited to meet Smarty's boss. He tells B that his underlings are rude and have no shame, but after B explains that gangsters shouldn't steal another gangster's car unless they want to fight, Smarty's boss drinks the beer offered by B as a sign of truce. Sometime later, Ho Nam is invited to Kwon's office where he produces adult movies. Kwon wants Ho Nam to become his underling, but Ho Nam refuses out of loyalty for B, even after Kwon offers him a lot of money. Outside the office, Smarty is being forced by her boss to be in an adult movie because she owes him money. Ho Nam sees this and stops the men from forcing her against her will, stating that he is her boyfriend. Smarty thanks him and started to fall in love with him. A few days later, we are introduced to the chairman of the gang, Mr. Cheng. He is having a meeting with B and his underlings. He heard about Ho Nam achievements, and he assigns them a job to take care of a troublemaker that's bothering their casino business in Macau. If they succeed, Mr. Cheng will make sure to support their future in the gang. The gang along with Chicken's girlfriend leave for Macau. When they arrive, Chicken wants to gamble since their job will start tomorrow. Outside the casino, a famous woman hits on Chicken, causing him to ditch his girlfriend. She gets kidnapped while Chicken is having fun with 3 women. Meanwhile, the others meet up with their contact, a guy named Kung. In the morning, they begin the job without Chicken since he can't be contacted. Their van is suddenly hit by 2 trucks from the front and back. A group of men jump out of the trucks to attack them. The gang realize that their weapons are fake, and it's a trap. They fight for their lives and try to escape. Chao Pei gets injured, but he tells his friends to leave him to save their lives. The other runs away, and Kung picks up Ho Nam in his car. Tin Yi and Bao Pei call their boss to explain the situation. Ho Nam along with Chicken's girlfriend has been drugged by Kung, who is Kwon's underling and the one who set them up. They were forced into intimate acts in order to destroy Ho Nam's reputation. His goal is to get Ho Nam and his friends kicked out from Hing. When the 2 regained consciousness in an alley, they started getting flashbacks of the night before. Frustrated, Ho Nam threatens the girl to keep it a secret, and she follows him as he tries to find his friends. Meanwhile, Chicken is buying some cigarettes when he sees a news report about a murder. He has a feeling that it's one of his friends, so he rushes to find his friends. Ho Nam finds Bao Pei and Tin Yi. While Bao Pei is getting upset over his brother's death, Chicken finally finds them. Bao Pei shouts at him for abandoning them while his girlfriend tells him about being forced into intimate acts with Ho Nam. This angers Chicken, and despite Ho Nam saying that it's all a trap, Chicken storms off and says that they're no longer brothers. Back in Hong Kong, B tells Ho Nam to lay low because of the mess in Macau, and he hasn't been able to contact Chicken. Ho Nam orders Tin Yi to go find Chicken. When Tin Yi locates him, he says that he's going to Taiwan so he can start a new life. Tin Yi hands him a Rolex from Ho Nam, who wants him to keep it for emergency. Tin Yi tells Chicken that the whole situation was a trap and Ho Nam will always view him as a brother. While recovering from his injuries, Ho Nam continues to lay low, hiding together with Smarty and Bao Pei, who surprisingly knows how to cook well. The district bosses of Home Hing are having a meeting that's also attended by Ho Nam and his friends. Dailobi asks Mr. Cheng for an explanation about why his underlings were set up in Macau. Instead, Quan starts to undermine B's ability and boasts about solving the problem himself. Quan used the opportunity to take over the chairman position by declaring an election since the 3-year term for the position has passed. The other regional bosses agree, and Mr. Cheng agrees to give up his position if everyone voted for a new leader. Everyone raises their hand in voting for Quan except for B, so Mr. Cheng graciously gives his position. Quan's first order as chairman is to banish Ho Nam out of Home Hing for sleeping with another triad member's girl. As punishment, B takes a handful of burning incense and burns it against Ho Nam's body. 10 months later, B visits Ho Nam to recruit him back. However, Ho Nam refused because Quan controls the gang now and don't want to tarnish B's reputation. They all enjoy each other's company after the turmoil they all been through. Ho Nam seems to enjoy a peaceful life with Smarty away from the gang world. One night, Kung picks up B and takes him to meet Quan in a secluded hill. It turns out that Quan kidnapped B's whole family because he blames B for ruining his illegal businesses and terminating his right-hand man. B tells Quan to just end his life and let his family go, but Quan refuses. He drugged B and instructed his men to attack him. His men then bury B and his family alive in a ditch. During B's funeral, many people come to pay their respects, even Ho Nam and his crew. They're stopped by a couple of people who refuse to let him inside because he's no longer part of the gang. Ho Nam begs them to let him pay a final respect to the man he considers his own father, and the other bosses are impressed by his loyalty. They let him do so, but only if he can pass through the beatings from other gang members on his way to the altar. Ho Nam endures the pain and successfully reaches the altar, saying his final goodbye. Quan walked towards the altar but wasn't allowed since he's suspected of the murders. Hearing this causes Ho Nam to become furious and attempt to attack him. As Quan walks away, the priests drop-kick him. In retaliation, Quan orders his men to blow up Ho Nam's bar. Seeking revenge, Ho Nam asks for help from B's friend, but he refuses since he's being watched by the cops. Suddenly, a couple cars stop, and it turns out to be Chicken along with many of his underlings. He throws the Rolex he was given by Ho Nam back to him before the two embrace each other in a hug, seeming to have forgiven one another. The next day, they visit B and his family's grave. Chicken explains that he joined a Taiwanese gang and became a leader. Ho Nam says he wants revenge for B and asks if Chicken is still a Home Hing member. Chicken says no matter what, Ho Nam will always be his brother. Quan attends his mom's birthday banquet. She has the exact same foul attitude as her son. While Quan and his men was enjoying the banquet, Ho Nam and Chicken is attacking Quan's businesses. They even tip the bureau about the illegal business at Quan's adult film business, making them issue an arrest warrant for Quan. Eventually, news of the havoc reaches Quan, and while he was distracted, Bao Pei disguised as a female starts beating up his mother in the bathroom. All beaten up, she reports this to her son who starts to chase after him. Quan gets separated from his men, which allows Chicken to get rid of them. Meanwhile, Teeny pours some gasoline straight on top of Quan from a window. Ho Nam arrives with Smarty and vows to make Quan pay. Quan can't run away since he's also cornered. When Bao Pei beats Quan up for killing B, Quan takes him as hostage using a gun. He escapes the alley while Teeny reports about a dangerous armed man to the officer that Quan intimidated earlier. Just as Quan pushed Bao Pei to escape, the officer runs over and shoots Quan, ending his life. The movie ends with the Mr. Cheng reclaiming the chairman position and reinstating Ho Nam back with Home Hing, and his name will be well known in the criminal underworld. Thanks for watching and staying until the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.